What's up YouTube, this is JP Panther back with a video, and today's video is actually going to be another Marvel News update video. Again, I will link the article in the description box down below so you guys can check it out. This is going to be kind of quick, I'm not going to go too long into it, but I'm going to get into the discussion right now, or at least the news about it right now. So this comes from Deadline.com. So it says the Russo brothers return. Pretty much it talks about how Avengers Endgame is the most profitable, highest grossing film of all time. And it talks about the most valuable blockbuster ever was Avengers Endgame made $2.8 billion. And they talk about the net gross to profit margin is like $900 million. And that includes the theatrical release, rental, global home entertainment, TV profits, stuff like that. Cut the last year's net with Avengers Endgame, with Infinity War make the estimate profit of $500 million. So Infinity War only made $500 million in profit, which is still good, but you know they have to spend a lot to make a lot. It's also the third year that Disney has won the Deadline tournament surprise. Star Wars Last Jedi, Force Awakens, stuff like that. And it talks about how the global shutdown during the coronavirus pandemic will expand this year's tournament to the top 25 films of this year. Stuff like that. And but what about 2020? How it looks, and it seems like movies like Bad Boys for Life, Sonic the Hedgehog, Universal's Doctor Dolittle. Aside Birds of Prey isn't on this list, but hey, it's kind of funny. Onward, The Gentleman. I mean, everything's on pause right now. And it talked about how the movies last year, how much it made in profit, stuff like that. And it just kind of talks about the financial stuff. But pretty much the whole message I'm trying to say is that. Endgame is the highest grossing film of all time, obviously, and it's the most profitable. But it's crazy how it just made $900 million is a lot of money in profit, but it just shows you that you have to spend a lot to make a lot. So even though you spent like Infinity War and Endgame, they probably spent like 500, 600 million, but like 550 million about that. Probably 500 million if you want to add money, marketing, stuff like that. Rise of Skywalker, they spent like 600 plus, whatever. But you have to spend a lot to make a lot, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. That people are like, well, what about Joker? Joker made a lot of money, but I guess the way their profit margin is that they said like Joker was 50 million, but then I guess it cost a little bit more to market. Well, I think it was a little bit more to market, I think, and whatever their profit margin towards. It's weird how they do it financially, stuff like that. And also, the problem is you never know what the real numbers is when it comes to these corporations, because if that's how they're making profit, you're not really making that much money. If you spent like 300 million and you're only making like 500 million in profit, it doesn't really justify doing these big blockbuster type movies. I'm just saying that's just my personal opinion. Because you have a movie like Joker that made 50 million and they said it only made like 400 million in profit. I don't understand how if it makes $1 billion but it only makes. I don't know. Like I'm just telling you what it is that I guess the way their numbers and stuff like that when it comes to movies and box office is completely different. Because I know they gotta pay the theaters, they get their cut, the actors, the actresses, the crew, the production people, stuff like that. But I know all that comes within the budget, but I guess it comes after the theatrical release and stuff like that. So anyway, pretty much the entire point of this video is that Avengers Endgame is the highest grossing film of all time, and it's the most profitable. But they probably have to spend a lot of money. And also, I do want to say that even though you have a movie like Avengers Endgame that makes all this money, breaks all these box office records, you gotta realize that even though you have a comic book movie like that, it doesn't help the comic book industry. So just to let you know is that you could pump out as many Avenger movies as you want. Just to let you know that success doesn't transfer to the comics. Unlike anime and manga, where the manga comes out first, and the anime is used to promote the manga, so they can keep the stories going on and on and on. And if you're very curious about what happens in the anime, or you want to know what happens further, or you're behind, you can just read the manga. Where Endgame didn't have that type of thing, where it's like, let's say for example, like Infinity War, right? You see Thanos snaps, half the population's gone, blah blah blah. But then it's like, all right, if I want to see what happens during Endgame, I could read Infinity Gauntlet. And even if you do, it's completely different. You feel me? So they don't have that same type of connection when it comes to the comic book and a movie, the comic book movies. You know what I mean? They're not interconnected like that, and they kind of distance themselves from the comic book storylines as well. So again, that's pretty much it, guys. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Make sure you rate and like the video and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Peace and have a great day and take care.